episode 3 of SnowBunnieDIY. Last week we made, what did we make last week? Oh, last week I painted on canvas for the first time ever with acrylic paint, which was terrifying and I panicked a lot, but they turned out amazing and I'm genuinely very surprised. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It'd probably be a pretty good laugh at how much I'm freaking out about just painting. Just painting. Don't know why I freaked out so much, but I did. And the first episode was making our own sock reindeer plushies, or a Rudolph sock plushie is probably the better way to say that, which is a really easy dollar store craft that any beginner sewer can do. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out as well. But today we are going to be making a really gorgeous resin snowflake in the shape of a cherry blossom or a Sakura blossom. I'm going to be using this mold from Craft Kitsune. This is actually from the December Craft Kitsune kit last year in 2020, and I missed out on that kit. So I reached out to Liz and she was so sweet and sent me this mold, and I'm so thankful. What's amazing with this mold is there's so many things you can do with such a simple design. You can add so many colors, you can add fairy lights, you can add a mirror, you could add pictures, you can make it an ornament, you can make it a votive holder, you can make it a candle holder. There's just so many things you can do with it. So for today, I'm going to be making 3 different Christmas tree ornaments using this mold. The very first thing I wanted to try was adding some fairy lights, and I got these fairy lights off of Amazon. What's nice with these fairy lights is they are waterproof, which means I can put them in resin and they won't burn out or have any issues. Plus, they are absolutely gorgeous and super bright. I had a really hard time figuring out how to put these around my mold, but I finally got it just like I wanted. So I set that aside. Then I mixed up about 80 milliliters of resin, which is actually a little too much for this mold, but that's okay. For this mold, you probably only need about 60 milliliters. To my resin, I added a whole bunch of my pearl alcohol ink. I shook this alcohol ink up a lot, but I still couldn't squeeze out any of the alcohol ink, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I stabbed it with a pin, stabbed it with a toothpick, still couldn't get any of the ink out, so I finally just poured it in straight from the bottle. Then I added a whole bunch of my blue flaky glitter. I'm not sure where this came from. Came from some crafting project for like years ago, and I've never once used it, so I finally used it today. And I also used this really pretty holographic glitter from Martha Stewart. And I didn't want the glitter to sink, so I actually let this sit for 10 minutes before pouring it into the mold, so it thickened up just a little bit. And this is where it all went wrong. I made the huge mistake to not hold my fairy lights down with UV resin because I thought they were in there firmly, and they were not. Nope, not at all. So I started pouring my resin in, and almost immediately the fairy lights started floating up to the surface, and I tried pressing them down and it just made it worse on the other side. So finally I just took them out. I just took the fairy lights out and I filled up the rest of the mold with my resin and I let that cure. And honestly, it turned out just fine. The blue from the flakes made the whole piece look like this really pretty icy blue, and the holographic glitter catches the Christmas lights amazingly. It looks like little tiny rainbows all over this piece of icy snowflake. So for my second try, I added my lights in again. Then, to not make the same mistake that I made last time, I held parts of the wire down with some UV resin. It doesn't take a lot of UV resin, just a little bit of a drop, and then I cured it with my UV light, and that helped to hold down all the little pieces. So I applied a dot of UV resin all around the center where the wires crossed, and also in each little petal. I really liked that pearlescent alcohol ink, and I really like my Martha Stewart glitter, so I decided just to recycle those and use them again for this one, minus the blue flaky glitter. So I mixed in a whole bunch of that pearlescent alcohol ink And for whatever reason, this time it came out of the dropper just fine, so I don't know what was going on that first time. And then I added a whole bunch of my Martha Stewart glitter, and I mixed that all together. Just like with the blue one before, I did let my resin sit for 10 minutes to thicken up before pouring it in. And thankfully, this time the lights stayed down. They stayed where I wanted them. The resin covered everything, nothing floated to the surface, so it worked out just fine. I love this snowflake so much. It's so simple and elegant looking, and the holographic flakes catch the light really, really nicely. And then bam, you turn on the Christmas lights and it looks amazing. You're like, oh, it lights up, oh my gosh. It's so awesome. I love it so much. Plus, it's really easy to glue the back of the battery pack with the wire to the back of the snowflake, and it still hangs up just fine. I also found some cute winter-themed pictures and put them inside my snowflake. It was really easy to just laminate them with clear shipping tape and then attach them to the center of the snowflake with some UV resin. If you're like me and you love to make your own ornaments and decorations, then you would fit right in with the Coffee Bean family. You should subscribe so you can become a Coffee Bean too. And make sure you click that notification bell so you don't lose me to the big wide world of YouTube, especially because it is the holidays right now and I know you're sitting at home watching all different YouTubers, so make sure you click that bell so you don't lose me. I upload videos every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now for my last snowflake, I could not resist the call of the Holo mica powder. I can't resist it. I should count how many videos this year I've used it. A lot. Many and much of my videos are that holographic powder from Solar Color Dust because it's amazing. So I coated my whole mold in a layer of the mica powder and then just poured some clear resin inside. I only did about 40 milliliters of resin this time because I don't want to cover up the whole snowflake. I actually want to leave that centerpiece hollow. Not hollow. Hollow and holographic. So I wanted to leave the center hollow, like a hole in it, and holographic is the color of the snowflake. Hollow. Jeez. I love these snowflakes so much. I cannot express to you how easy they are to make for such an amazing looking product. They look so pretty and it's so easy. So if you are a resin beginner, a mold like this is perfect for you. It's a perfect way to make some holiday gifts and the perfect way to decorate your house. Let me know in the comments below which of these is your favorite. I can't make up my mind. Even though the blue one started as a fail, I really like it because it reminds me of Frozen, which reminds me of my daughter. Oh my gosh, she's obsessed. It's a problem. Frozen everything. Especially around this time of year. Like, any frost on the ground, it's Elsa. Elsa did the frost. But of course, I really like the light up one because it lights up. I mean, how awesome is that? It just lights up. Anything that lights up and I'm like, yes, my favorite, you got it. That being said, anything holographic, and I'm like, yes, I love it, you got it. Holographic all day, every day. Even the tinsel on our tree is holographic. I love it so much. So it's hard for me to decide which one of these is my favorite, honestly. Let me know in the comments which one is yours. And make sure you come back next week for our 2021 flashback, where I look at the top 5 most viewed videos, the top 5 most liked videos, and my top 5 favorite videos from this year of my own videos. BunnieDIY videos, not videos of all of YouTube. That would take a long time. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Love you a latte!